All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Main Event Interviews here on MSP Waves Radio. My name is Main Event. I'm once again joined tonight by Poetic Snake. How you doing, Poetic Snake?
Good evening, main event, and good evening to everybody listening out there. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and of course, this is a eventful week for Steam and Steemit, right? I mean, there's so much going on. It is the 1st of November, 2017. And wow, is all I can say. There's a lot going on with Steam. A lot of changes. Of course, Steam Fest, I believe, starts off today, right? I'm not real super familiar with Steam Fest, but I've, of course, heard of it. Are you familiar with it at all, Snack?
I know a little bit about it, but not 100%, of course. But I do know that today started off with the Steam Hackathon.
And I have no idea what that is.
Me neither.
I know I see people posting stuff about Steam Fest. It seems like a lot of the stuff really starts tomorrow. Maybe it seems like I could be wrong on that, but a lot of the seem like the live streams and things like that were supposed to start tomorrow. Do you know where Steam Fest is this year?
I do believe it's in Lisbon. Lisbon, I believe you pronounce it, in Portugal.
That's interesting. And so yeah, so a lot of fellow Steamians heading there this week, and I know a lot of people are posting from there, so it'll be really fascinating to hear all the stories and see what everybody's gonna do at Steamfest. Right? I wish I could go to Steamfest.
I wish I was there as well. Yes, would be amazing. I mean, meeting people from all over the world and just to talk about the same things, Steemit, and the things we do there. Just amazing. Welcome everybody, and a very interesting way to get to know all the steamers better.
Definitely. I'm hoping next year maybe I can go. It'll be something I can plan for if I know where it's going to be in enough advance. And yeah, it would be really awesome. And maybe even just going to even a Steam meetup, not even necessarily Steam Fest, of course, but even just a local Steam meetup sometime. And I live in the U.S., you live in the Netherlands, so I mean, you could be hopefully going to one in that area, and maybe I can go to one here at some point. I mean, it's fascinating to see these things happen around the world because it's something I wouldn't have imagined from a platform like this where everybody's going to congregate all in one place like that. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not sure if there were smaller meetups here in the Netherlands, but of course, Steamfest 1 was here in Amsterdam, so that was rather big. But I would love to.
Absolutely. And again, welcome everybody. This is what I had called the main event interview show. It has kind of evolved over time. It started out as me doing pre-recorded interviews with various Steemit users from all over the world, all different experience levels, and it's eventually now evolved into Poetic Snake joining me as a co-host each week, which is a lot of fun. Thank you, Snake, for doing that.
Yeah, I love it.
And now we are 100% live here on the show. So we haven't done any pre recorded interviews in quite a while. Not to say that we'll never do one again, because, of course, with time and schedules, sometimes we may have to do a recorded interview with somebody, but we try to do the show live now, which is a lot of fun, and it's great to welcome you folks listening onto the show if you'd like. So later on in the show, if you would like to be on the air with us, feel free to send me a direct message on Discord. This is Main Event speaking, and you can be on the show with us as long as you're able to voice chat. And that's really the only requirement. You need to speak English, of course, because that's the only language I speak. Snecky, you probably speak other languages, right?
Yes, a little. Not fluent though.
Yeah, so I mean, I would have to have somebody speaking in English, of course. So, yeah, just send me a direct message, and later on in the show, we can have you on. We do have one guest waiting in the wings. Her name is Sim Girl. We're going to have her on in just a few minutes here. We're just giving a little bit of time for everybody to get on in and listen to the show. It looks like we've got lots of people listening right now in the MSP Waves audience chat room, which is great. Welcome, everybody. Sneck, do you want to mention some of the names you see in the chat?
Yeah, sure. I see Scaredy Cat Guide. Always wonderful to have you around here. And Savo, we had him as a guest last week, and he is back now. And a new name for me, I see DBK.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the show. I know I saw Saipen's name up there earlier. Saipen Damashi, there he is. Just joining us as well. I saw Rondon's name. Thank you, Rondon, for helping us get on the air tonight. And again, if you're first time listener, welcome. This show does air as part of the MSP Waves radio network. If you're interested in finding out more about that, you can head over to mspwaves.com. You can see all the various radio shows that are on there. And if you're interested in doing a show, there is airtime available, I believe. You just need to be able to do that show at the same time every week. And get a hold of everybody involved with that in the MSP Waves radio group here on PAL, and we can certainly get you started. All right, so let's check in. If there's anybody else that we didn't mention out there in the chat, feel free to type in there and let us know you're here. We'll certainly give you a shout out.
I see Stick Champion. I said that so wrong.
No worries, it happens. Stick Champion, I believe. Is that how you'd say that? I believe.
Stick Champion. Did that sound better?
Is it Champion? I can't remember this, but anyway. If anybody would like to be on, though, yeah, just send me a message, and we would be happy to have you on the air. We do have one guest waiting in the wings. It's SimGirl. SimGirl, are you there with us? If you are, let us know. I know she's waiting patiently.
I am here.
All right. Welcome to the show, SimGirl.
Thank you.
And whereabouts in the world are you this evening?
I am in South Carolina, United States.
All right, cool. And how long have you been on Steemit?
I joined in September, I think. It's been about a month.
Okay, so you're still relatively new to the platform. And I'm curious, what brought you to Steemit? Like, where did you hear about it?
My friend at Snook, her son's been on here. His name is E. Coinston. He does a lot of environmental. He lives down there in Colombia. And he was on here for probably about 6 months. And he kind of talked us into coming over here. So we're both here.
Awesome. And so what exactly have you been doing on Steemit so far? Are you a blogger? What have you been using it for so far?
Yeah, I wrote a book, How to Sim Your Life. It was I started in 2013 and I finished it like recently, and I needed a place to promote it, so I came on to here to promote my book, and then I figured to blog every day I would explain how to play the Sims game. So that's what I've been doing.
Okay, so you're a gamer, and what is your book about? You said it's about simming your life, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah, I was taking a bunch of psychology classes, and I realized that the Sims are following a lot of the psychological theories. So I just kind of compared it, and I show how I would play a successful Sim throughout their life and how to avoid things that the Sims would encounter and how we can avoid them.
That's really interesting. Now, how far have you gone with Steemit so far? Have you joined any groups on the platform or anything like that? I know there's a lot of writer groups throughout Discord and beyond. Have you found any of those groups yet?
Well, like I said, Snook's son is in Eco Train, I think it is. So that was my first group, which I met a lot of nice people. And then I found y'all for PAL. And Lima Being has her girl power now. And I just been kind of entering contests and stuff, just kind of floating around, seeing what's out there.
Now I'm curious. So you've been on for a month here. I'm going to ask everybody about all the changes that have been happening this week. Of course, it's kind of big for Steemit. What do you think about the new changes, like the new layout and all of that? What do you think?
I like it. I think it's very neat and clean, and I don't like that they took my blue away and gave me green, but I'm gonna get over that, I guess.
I have a feeling that it will change over time, of course. I don't think it will just stay the same forever. Maybe it will. I was thinking too, maybe it'll get to the point where you could even customize it, or you could choose the colors or the theme or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's real pretty though. It's nice and it's easy to read now.
Snack, what do you think of the new layout?
Well, first of all, I love the green, of course. I mean, snake green. So yeah, I love it, and I love the new layout as well. It's easy to the eyes. I still love the big pictures, and I also like the night vision.
Yeah, the night vision was interesting because I didn't notice that immediately. I was just clicking around and I saw that. I was like, activate night mode or whatever. Night, not night vision. Is that what it's called? Is it night mode or
I
what is?
just call it night mode, but I think it's night vision.
Let's see here.
I didn't see that yet.
Oh, see, and that's the other thing. They've made these changes, and a lot of people haven't found it yet, and that's the thing. Um, where do you go? You go into your profile menu, right? You click the button that has your profile picture on it, and
Yes.
then you go down to in that menu, and it's the toggle night mode, is what it says. It's right under your wallet.
Yeah, and you should
Oh,
all push it. It's amazing.
nice.
Yeah, so it completely turns it all like a dark. It's kind of like a grayish color, I would call it, I guess. And then yeah, that teal green. Uh, a lot of people are. We got mixed reactions about that though. Did you know? I don't know if you guys noticed that, but a lot of people had mixed opinions on the whole thing. A lot of people hated it at first. They didn't really like the logo change. That was the other thing that changed. And it's change is good though, I think, especially with something like Steemit. I mean, it's so young, it's so new. It's gonna go through some growing pains, I would assume, wouldn't you think? And that's questions to either one of you. Feel free. Sim Girl, what do you think? You still there with us?
Me?
Yes, sorry. Yes, yep.
Oh, sorry, my husband's yelling at me
Oh,
from the
geez,
other
that's
room.
not good.
Well, I should say to me. He's not yelling at me.
If you need to take a break, just let us know. We can jump in here. But uh,
Oh, good.
yeah, so no, I was just curious what you guys what you think of these changes, Sim Girl. Do you think it's a good thing?
Yeah, and I do like the green with the night visions. That's nice.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's the first time you've got to see it. Was right here live on the air. If anybody
Yeah, it's
else
nice.
missed that and they haven't done it yet, uh, you just go under that menu where your profile picture is. I don't know what you would call that. I don't know if that's just because you technically have two menus there. Someone in the audience might be able to answer that question. But it's right below where your wallet link would be. It says toggle night mode. The other thing I don't know if everybody's seen either is in your home feed. When you go to the home feed where you get to see everything, all the tags and all the posts, there's a button near where it says people I follow. All the way to the right, there's a little square with two lines. If you click that, it changes the view of the feed into big pictures with a short little description. Now, for me, I like that a lot better because it's so much more visual. Especially,
That's nice.
if you're a photographer or an artist or something like that, those nice big huge those are big pictures and that takes up a lot of space on the page. So you could really do a lot with that, I think.
Yeah, I really love it.
And I'm not sure a lot of people have seen that yet. So if you're just listening now and you haven't tried that yet, go ahead and try it out if you want. It's like I said, it's right where it says people I follow. There over to the right of that, there's a box with a couple lines, and you click that, and it changes the view of the feed. And I don't know, I really like that change. That's a big change for I know myself. I'm a photographer, and before it would be hard to find a picture that was really good as a thumbnail is what you always had to find before because you only got that little thumbnail picture. And so now you can put a more detailed photo because you get such a bigger space for it. But yeah, and it could be the same with writing too. I mean, you could have a nice picture for your book promotion post or whatnot, and now people will really see that, a lot more.
Yeah, I
I
can.
like it.
Go ahead, Sim Girl. Sorry to cut you off,
I'm
Snack.
sorry. I was just gonna say I do like it. It's nice.
Snack, go right ahead.
I just wanted to say I think that if you now use the right picture, people will really be drawn more to your posts.
Definitely. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there really quick while we have some, our listeners here, and just to see what you thought of that too, as someone who's only been on Steemit for a month or so. I mean, you're coming on and all this stuff's happening, right? I mean, the site was down for quite a while, and there was problems posting. Were you getting frustrated as a new user because of that?
No, because I do a lot of betas, so I know, what a beta is. So I think it's awesome that I can be a part of it.
And that's a really interesting answer too, because yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, it is still in beta, and there's going to be problems. I was curious, as somebody who's only been on for a month or so, if that was discouraging to you at all. But yeah, if you've done betas before, then yeah, you definitely understand. Very cool. So let's see here. Once again, let's check in with the audience. If anybody has questions for Sim Girl, let's check with the audience right now. Feel free to ask away. I see a lot of the same people here in the audience, but welcome and thank you all for tuning in. If you're just joining us, go ahead and write something in the MSP Waves audience chat room. Let us know you're listening. And we really appreciate you all being here. We're visiting right now with Sim Girl. You can find her on Steemit. It's right under that same username. It's just, let's see here. Let me pull this up here. You just spell SIMGIRL. Now, do you plan on doing more writing on Steemit, Sim Girl?
Yeah, I've started that radio show, so I'm gonna start that, and we're gonna talk about it. And I guess I'll be taking my radio script and posting it online after the show, so you'll be able to read you know, what I was talking about on my show.
Oh, well, tell us about your radio show.
It's going to be called Sim Your Life, and I'm just going to describe things in my book that I talk about, and then for the last hour, I'll take calls and we'll talk about, their traits and their aspirations and stuff like that.
That's really awesome. And do you know when people will be able to listen to that yet, or is that still something you're working on?
Yeah, I just started it, so I'm still going through the gates.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll watch for that, of course. And once
Yeah.
again, you can find all the information about the station and all the various radio shows. You can find it on Steemit at msp-waves or mspwaves.com. Again, we're visiting with Sim Girl, and my name is Main Event. We also have Poetic Snake here with us tonight. If you'd like to be on the show later on in the hour here, just send me a direct message here on Discord, and we would be happy to have you on the show in a little bit. Sim Girl, as somebody who's only been on here a little while, do you have questions at all about Steemit or anything like that, or do you think you've got a pretty good grasp on it so far?
I'm still really confused about the wallet and how I can even get the money out, or if I can get the money out or anything. I just left it alone because I just don't understand it.
I personally haven't done anything with mine either. I haven't tried to move it anywhere or done anything, and I really don't know either. So maybe that'll be a topic for another day that we can get somebody on who knows something about it, or maybe somebody later in the show or something even. But personally, I have not done that either, so that's all new to me. I'm not sure, Sneck. Have you had a chance to even do anything like that, or is that still foreign territory for you too?
I have, sorry, I have moved some liquids around. Um, I can tell you that you can really pull the money out and that it works. So
Yeah, I know in Europe there's I think there's options for like debit cards and things of that nature that you could eventually get it out, but I'm not an expert on that. I really don't know. Just things I've seen, people's posts and things that have mentioned it.
yeah, I use a debit card as well, a virtual one, and yeah, and my Bittrex account, and you have to move it around a bit. And if you finally get you know, the hang of it, it's not that difficult. But then again, I don't know how it will work for others. So.
Yeah, I mean, by no means we are not, financial experts. We are not experts in any way, shape, or form.
Oh
So
no, you should never ask me how
yeah.
you should handle your money because you will end up buying me apples.
But yeah, no, there's probably lots of things. I mean, you could probably look it up and Google it or something to that effect. Or I'm sure there's posts on Steemit about it too. Maybe there is. You can search for posts right on Steemit, and I'm sure there's something on there about that topic. I personally haven't done it yet either, it would be interesting to find out how. So
I think the most important thing is when you start moving it around that you make sure that you don't mess up the names, that you keep the right spelling, and that you check yourself on that. Because when you push sign, it will move and you won't get it back.
yeah, and Stick Champion made a point. He said, try doing small amounts till you get the hang of it, that type of thing.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Let's check it with the audience here real quick. I see Christy D out there. Hey, Christy. Savo was asking who is speaking. Well, it's main events here tonight. Sim Girl is here with us as our guest, and Poetic Snake. And I see Sipens out there. And yeah, Stick Champion, that was his little tidbit. Try to do maybe little bits at a time once you do find out, which companies you can do that through. I'm not really sure. It's something definitely to research, especially if like her and I live in the United States, so we would have to figure out how that works for us here. But again, thank you all so much for listening. This is the Main Event Interview Show on MSP Waves Radio. The show airs every Wednesday for 2 hours during this time slot, and you can certainly join us later in the show if you'd like. Just send me a direct message. You just have to have voice chat capabilities.
I think we have a new listener with the name Stace, and I wanted to say a warm welcome to her. I think she's listening for the first time today.
All right, well, that's great. Yeah, and anybody who's, of course, listening that's not in the audience chat room, I don't want you to feel left out, of course. I know not everybody listens to it through that way. So welcome if you're tuning in from another source. And again, we'd be happy to have you on the show. We're visiting with Sim Girl tonight, joining us from the U.S. So overall, Sim Girl, you think you like Steemit so far, huh? You think it's something you're going to stick with for a little while?
Yeah. When I found you guys here on the PAL server, it was like finding a guild again, because I used to play World of Warcraft and we had a guild and there would be guild chat, and it was like going back to it without having to play the game. It's just like a real nice community.
Yeah, and again, that's the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server on Discord, home of the Minnow Support Project. And yeah, if you're listening out there and you haven't joined Minnow Support, feel free to do that. Come check it out. See if it's for you. We've got a lot of great people here who are willing to help you and, help you learn to swim, as I like to say, as far as the Steemit Ocean goes. Not literally, but, help you find your wings or whatnot, to just figure everything out here on Steemit. That's what the PAL network's here for. We're all here to chat with you. You're never by yourself when there's PAL around, right? I mean, you can always jump in the general deep end or, say hello. And there's usually always somebody on there to chat with, and it's definitely a lot of fun. Is there any Steemit users you want to give a shout out to, Sim Girl? Like anybody you've been interacting with that you just want to give a shout out to out there?
Well, everybody really in the PAL network, because they just all been real nice to me and they've been helping me out, and with I could name them all, but I don't want to leave anybody out. But just everybody in there, all the witnesses and all the moderators, they've just been really nice and really helpful. And all the users too, because I come in the morning with my coffee and I wake up in general chat and everybody's talking. It's nice.
Those are the best mornings, right? Waking up with coffee,
Yeah.
having a nice chat.
Yeah, it's nice. And whenever I I come on and I see that the radio station's playing. It's like cool, you know, and I love the radio. It's just the best part, I think, of the whole Discord channel.
Well, I know everybody involved with the station would be happy to hear that. They definitely put in a lot of work to make that happen, and I know they appreciate that. I know they do. And let's see. I see Scaredy Cat Guide out there listening. Welcome. And again, we're visiting with Sim Girl here right now. And if anybody out there is listening that wants to join us afterwards, don't be shy. Just send me a message on Discord, and we'd be happy to have you on the show.
We don't bite.
Speak for yourself, Snecky, right?
Yeah, true.
Let's see. So, Sim Girl, I'm just looking at your blog here. So, yeah, you've been on since September. And, yeah, that's great. Anything else you want to mention to the listeners, like that you have planned for your Steemit blog or anything that they could watch for? Of course, you mentioned the radio show, but anything else you want to mention to the listeners?
I was just gonna mention the free write that I've been doing. It's a 5-minute prompt for writing for anybody who is a writer or anybody who's not a writer. They give you a word every day, and you make a little 5-minute. You set your timer for 5 minutes, and you write for 5 minutes using that word. And I've been having a lot of fun doing that. So I would, suggest anybody that wants to do the free write. That's what I've been doing lately.
Isn't it hard to write a story in 5 minutes?
Yes, it is a little bit, but then it cuts you off like right at the spot. Like you still be typing and it'll be beeping, and you have to stop your story right there. So it's kind of like a cliffhanger. It's kind of cool.
Oh dear.
And then you can go back and read everybody's free write, and there's been more and more people, coming. It's only been, I think, 11 weeks she's had it. So.
Yeah, I've seen it come along in my feed as well. I was thinking about trying it out one day.
It's fun, and it gives you something to post every day if you don't have anything to post, and it only takes 5 minutes. So.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you don't have a muse every day to post maybe, and then this is a real good opportunity to push yourself.
All right, well, that's awesome. Well, really appreciate you being on the show tonight, Sim Girl. I mean, you're welcome to stay and hang out with us here. As of right now, everybody's being shy. Everybody's being shy, and they're not wanting to jump on the show with us yet. So we'll see if we get any takers here in a few minutes. But we can kind of all just hang out and chat. Or if Sim Girl, if you got to get going, you can just let us know.
I could hang out here with you. I'll mute myself unless you need me.
Okay. Well, again, we're visiting with Sim Girl, everybody. I just shared her profile link in the chat room, so certainly you can check out her blog if you're interested in sim-related things. She's really into that. And again, she said she's written a book even. So if you're interested, you can, of course, check that out. And if anybody's interested in being on the show tonight, let me know. You don't have to be shy. We're happy to have you on. We can talk about what's going on with Steemit. There's kind of a lot going on right now. It's kind of, what do you guys think? I kind of curious what the vibe is out there with everybody. What do you guys, how you feeling about Steemit and everything in general? I mean, it's going through some growing pains, wouldn't you say, Snack?
Definitely going through some growing pains, yes.
I mean, we've first we had a lot of connection issues, which I've heard multiple reasons what it was, and I don't know what's the truth and what isn't, so I'm not even going to speculate. But whatever, there was connection issues. People couldn't get onto the site, and then even when they did get on, their comments or their posts weren't going through. Or I've seen tons of people posting multiple times. They're writing the same comment 3 or 4 times or the same post 3 or 4 times. And so obviously that was a problem, right? I mean, did you experience that?
Oh, yes. I had a few bang your head against the wall moments, and then I had a few slam your laptop against the wall moments. It was hard, but then again, it happens, and I just took some time off.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think a lot of people did. Maybe it was needed, you know. Maybe we all needed a little break. And obviously, it seems, though, I'm just speculating here. Of course, this is just my opinion. But it seems like they may have been like testing some things, right? Because it seemed like after that all happened, all these changes happened too. First, we got the new layout, and then then just what was it? Just last night that everything changed. Was it yesterday that that all happened, or it's been a couple days now, right?
Yeah, a couple of days, I think.
And so all these changes have happened. Even the logo has changed. And of course, I did see it was Ned, I think, who posted a picture of himself with a shirt, and it was all blacked out. And he's guess what the Steemit logo is going to be or whatnot.
Yeah, the teaser.
Yeah, so it's we knew it was coming, and here it is. And again, everybody kind of has mixed opinions about it, right? Some people
Oh, yeah.
hate it, some people love it, but that's gonna happen with change in general. I mean,
That's what beta is for.
yeah, and change is good. I mean, I think it's good. It's better. It seems like since they implemented this new, these newest changes, the page seems to be running a lot better. Have you had many problems the last like 24 hours or so?
I had problems with posting though. It says that you didn't post. You got this really neat error, and uh, thanks to you, I checked it and it was posted. So if I didn't, then I would have posted double. So that is still a problem, I think.
Yeah, that's one thing I have recommended to people is keep your Steam page open at the same time. Most people probably do anyway, but if you haven't, it's what is it, steamd.com, right? Let me just double check that. Um, yeah, steamd.com, and then it's at your username. Uh, you can see your blockchain transactions in real time, assuming that the node is up and everything, of course. But if you're posting something on Steemit, just hit it once, hit the post button once, and then go look at your Steemd and make sure it went through. Because sometimes, yeah, like you said, it's giving messages where you don't know if it's going to go through or not, and some people are hitting it 2 or 3 times and posting multiple times. But just check your Steemd feed, and as long as you see it there, it should have posted.
Yeah, I was thinking about starting a bingo card for all the numbers, the error numbers.
Right? That's pretty funny, actually.
I mean, they keep changing, so.
But hopefully the changes are for good things. Like we got these color changes, and the logo's changed, and it seems to be running a little better now. So hopefully it's working up to it. Of course, it is still in beta. So what we all need to remember all the time is that it's still in beta, it's still new, still a work in progress, and we all love it. I mean, for the most part. I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself. But when it works, it's wonderful, right? Is that how you would say, Snack?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm a person I can get really frustrated, but you know, during my time here, I have learned not to get too frustrated. So just bring it. Every change I think is it's for a good thing. So we will just have to, you know, wait for it, and it will become amazing.
Time will tell. That's all I keep thinking in my mind. It's if it's meant to be, it'll happen. You know.
Yes, I think it's meant to be.
Well, let's check in with the audience here and see who's still here with us. We really appreciate you all tuning in. Again, we just visited with Sim Girl, and if you're interested in being on the show, my name is Main Event. We're hanging out with Poetic Snake. And if you want to be on the show, let me know. It looks like Stick Champion is willing to step up to the plate here and be on the show. I'm going to send them a message and see if we can get them on.
Amazing.
So, Stick Champion, if you're listening right now, I'm not sure. Are you listening in the room here? Nope. Okay, you're not. All right, perfect. Because if you were in the voice room, I'd have to have you leave. I'm going to send you a direct message, Stick, and I'll send you the link to the room we are using here. So just join that room. You'll probably have to stop listening to the feed. So sorry. Bear with us a moment, folks. Live radio here. So, Sim Girl is still hanging out here with us, but we'll see when Stick joins if we can hear them. Again, you're listening to the main event interview show here on MSP Waves Radio. It's about 6:35 Eastern Time, 10:35 Universal Time. And big topic this week with the radio station was what are we going to do about all the time changes, right? Because here on the East Coast of the U.S. and I'm pretty sure most places we set our clocks back here. I believe this Sunday, I think, and so our time goes back an hour. Spring ahead, fall behind is how we remember it. But yeah, okay. So I see Sticks in here with us. Mike's muted at the moment. So Stick, I don't know if you can hear me, bud, but if okay, there you go. I saw that on mute. How you doing?
I'm all good. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Welcome to the show.
This is awesome. This is a lot easier than I thought.
Yeah, and it's is your Steemit profile name the same as your Discord name?
Yeah, exactly the same.
Okay, perfect. Whereabouts in the world are you tonight, Stick Champion?
I'm in London. I'm not too far from the snake.
All right, that's awesome. And how long have you been on Steemit so far?
I've been on since August.
August, cool. And what brought you to Steemit? How did you find out about it?
The short version in keywords is Max Kaiser, cryptocurrency, Steemit. So in that order.
Nice. And so what exactly are you using Steemit for? Are you like do you do blogging? What do you do on Steemit usually?
The main thing that's kind of bringing home the bacon for me is I put up a lot of music, and I've been doing a lot of music collaborations with Bucky, to name one person. So that's been my main sort of source, but I kind of dabble with a few other things as well.
Nice. So you yourself are a musician, you're saying?
Yeah, I've been playing since I'm 38 now. I've been playing since I was about 13, so you guys can do the maths out there. It's been a long time, so yeah.
What kind of instruments do you like to play?
I started off as a drummer. That's my main sort of forte, but I've been playing guitar as well. I've fronted a few bands. I'm sort of teaching myself some piano. I've got a bit of everything going on. I've got like a little studio in my little flat and stuff, so that's how I managed to record stuff and things like that. So yeah.
Nice. Well, that's really awesome. Do you have a particular type of music that you like to play the best, or do you just play a wide variety of things?
Well, the Saki answer is good music, but the real answer is probably like I'm probably more. You could probably pigeonhole me into the sort of punk rock sort of stuff, maybe more sort of post punk. I've got a wide variety, but people normally lump me in with that. So an artist doesn't like to be pigeonholed.
Exactly. So, you said you've been doing collaborations. You want to talk about those a little bit?
Yeah, I was actually at the sort of forefront. They started a new music room, and me and Bucky were sort of the first two people to get in on that. We kind of like moderators, but not like sort of massive moderators. But and through that, we're just trying to meet some people and like get some sort of some collaborations going together. So if you look through my page, you'll see a couple things. But what really started it all is I've got like a studio that I rent. I've got my drum kit there, and I just recorded a drum beat and put it out in Steemit, and it kind of went, well, as viral as it can go on Steemit, but a couple of people joined in, so that sort of spawned sort of a new idea. So that was really awesome as like an artist, that people just really got into it. So yeah.
It's amazing how the people on Steemit can be so supportive and really get behind things when you've put a lot of effort into it. It's really incredible, how that works. Is that something you've kind of noticed about Steemit? Is that the people seem to be, a little more friendly than other social media platforms?
I would say more, well, they are friendly, but I would just say more proactive. I've kind of had this idea to collaborate with people internationally for like, I'd say like 5 years. But if you're on the music scene, like it's just a bunch of really lazy people, which is fine. But you meet someone at like a bar and you have a few beers and everyone's down for the idea, but nobody really comes through with it. And then it was only through Steemit that it basically just all took off in this, from 5 years planning to 5 minutes. It just really like took off. So I would say more like just really people that are just really proactive, I'd say, artistically.
Yeah, definitely, and they definitely will give you good feedback, positive feedback or constructive feedback. I mean, sometimes people aren't, gonna hide things, but they're not gonna just troll you for the most part either. I mean, of course they do exist, but yeah, like you said, they definitely seem to interact more, and that's great for a musician because then you can actually, get an audience and get some listeners.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's like one of the main points I'd stress as well is like, I mean, if you're gonna create stuff, you gotta be like totally honest if you're gonna make something really nice. So if you're collaborating with someone, I don't know, who's playing saxophone or something, and you just don't like what's coming out, you just gotta be honest. You don't have to be a dick or anything, but that's kind of the hard thing. But when it all works, it's been really good. So like, basically, I put up a post about a week or two ago. I was very lucky enough to get a curry up vote, which I didn't even know what it was, but obviously I saw what it meant. And that was myself, that was Bucky, and that was a guy called David Farr, who's actually from Iran, which is insane. And he like just basically helped some of my production and said that it didn't cut through so good. And yeah, it was just it was like a dude in London, someone from Iran, and someone Bucky from Newfoundland, and it's mind-blowingly awesome. Like I'm still sort of in awe about it.
Yeah, the international collaboration thing is really interesting. I find that really fascinating that you guys are doing that. So how do you do that exactly? Like, do you do like video chats, or how do you make that work?
It was completely organic. So the first beat with the drum beat really kicked it off. So that kind of relatively got the name out there, so to speak. So that's how I got in touch with Bucky and his sort of violin playing, which I was always a big fan of. And then through the music room, I met this guy David, and it was literally as organic as I posted up a song by this band called the Meat Puppets, and he said underneath, "Oh, that's a really cool band." And then we started talking about it, and that's how it all organically went. So it was almost again like the bar scenario, but it wasn't. But the conversation was the same, pretty much.
So that's really interesting. So how many different people have you collaborated with on Steemit so far? Just Bucky, or was there others you said you did?
So yeah, the first one which really blossomed it started off with me, and then it was a guy called Carl Gnash, Gnash. So I put down the drum beat, then he came through with the guitar, and then Bucky flew in through left field. I didn't even know who this dude was, but he flew in with the violin. And then Vashumort, I believe that's his name, he came in with some weird synthesizer keyboard. And then Julia came in on top of that. Julia Ponsford came on with that. So that was at least four people. So that was the first one, and then the last one was like three people. So yeah,
You guys could like start a Steemit band or something, I see those other people sometimes posting like Steemit based songs and stuff, and I always find that interesting and kind of amusing. But yeah, no, that's really awesome that you guys are all working together. That's really amazing.
yeah, it's really cool. I mean, we've all seemed to have like some gear that's been gathering dust, so it's been cool to sort of dust it all off and you know, I think all us artists are kind of lazy until we find that spark. So this has definitely, you know, ignited that spark, definitely within myself. So yeah, it's been really awesome.
And do you have things, planned coming up? Do you guys have any things, coming up here in the next couple of weeks or anything like that that we should be watching for on your blog?
Um, I think I spoke to Bucky today about doing something on his radio show because he did his first radio show last night, which was insanely awesome. It's like it's a combination of like cool music and just like um some sort of like Prozac, some sort of sonic Prozac, because he just makes you feel really happy. He's a really happy guy. So um you know, coming up, just I'm just trying to like be in the music room. I forgot it's basically called the music room, I think, on the and just try to find new people and just come up with ideas. So any musicians, if you're out there, just pop in. I'm normally around there at some point during the day, and just let's try and make something. You know.
Now, when you say the
So,
music room, are you using the one right on the PAL network? Is that the one you're referring to?
yeah, there's I think obviously I can't log in at the moment, but I think it's called the music room. But it's basically under the sort of interest section of the PAL network. Yeah.
Awesome. And again, if anybody isn't familiar with that, that's in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server, which is, of course, home of the Minnow Support Project, home of MSP Waves. And yeah, it's right in the list of the rooms. I think it's just called music, and of course, no posting in there. But maybe eventually, there seems to be a lot of people who love to share music on in the PAL network. A lot of people like to share, music videos and things of that nature, links to them, of course. So maybe eventually there'll be another room where people can do that. But right now it's just called music, no posting. Feel free to go in there. And there seems like there's quite a few musicians in there. I personally haven't been in yet.
Yeah, and what I've also sort of done in there is I actually created like a little a pin article which is linked to a spreadsheet. So if you go in there and you put on the go into the spreadsheet, you can just put down what you play because my idea is to sort of create a directory. So if it all takes off and we have like say 50 musicians, the idea being people can go in and you can almost scout people, if you know what I mean. You can sort of like see who's out there and see what kind of music they're into. So that's I'm trying to just try to get behind that. But as it's grassroots, it's still really cool and exciting, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And there's actually also I believe it was Rondon maybe who did this, that you can actually go in there and there's like a sort of DJ bot thing where you can actually pull sounds off YouTube. I went in there today when I got home from work and cracked 2 beers and did my own little DJ set for about 20 minutes, which was really fun.
Yeah, that is a lot of fun using that. I've used it too. It's a good time. Yeah, it's basically you get to just hang out and listen to YouTube with other people, which is kind of fun.
Well, in my case, it was purely narcissistic. I was listening to my own music.
Hey, you never know though. It's interesting to learn about new music. That's one thing I love about music is finding new stuff. I'm not one of these people that I listen to the same stuff for 30 years or whatever. I like new music. It doesn't have to be brand new to the date, but I like discovering just different things.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, hopefully more people can come in there. And yeah, I mean, I think level doesn't really matter either. I think Bucky's actually a music teacher anyway. So even if you probably wanted to try it, he could probably pop in. And like I said, he's Sonic Prozac, so you know he'll make you feel good no matter how bad you think you are.
Yeah, we've had him on as a guest on the show, and of course he's got his own radio show now. It's Bucky Dirtle, and yeah, he's a great guy, very talented, and definitely happy to have him in here in the PAL network with us because, like you said, he definitely puts a smile on your face. Uh, Poetic Snake, are you still there with us? I know she's there in the background, lingering.
Oh, oh, I was pushing the wrong button.
Oh, sorry. I know you're
But I'm
here.
here.
I know you're here hanging out with us. You must have at least a question for our guest here.
Yeah, I was wondering about your skateboarding. Do you also share posts about that, like videos or? writings.
Yeah, that's it's funny that because I actually went on there, I found out how you can look up the different tags, and that's basically one of my other passions. I've been doing that since I was probably about 8 or so. It's kind of like my gym now that I'm getting older. But this skateboarding tag is very lacking. It's kind of like a dump post at the moment. People put up skate videos but don't say anything. So I've been trying to do that amongst the music, but what I did discover is there's this 8-year-old girl from Texas who's been posting up her videos. She just started skating, so that's been really cool. I can't get onto my computer and tell you what her username is, but I re-steamed one of her posts. But that was really cool for me to see because that's one of my other passions. So thank you for asking. And I filmed myself doing a few tricks last week Friday, and it's on my post to do. So that will be coming soon.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. Did you ever break anything, like your legs or something?
Any skater will have multiple sprained ankles, but my main one is I've got like a massive scar on my shoulder where I sort of pulled all the ligaments out and had to have surgery. So that's the main one, my shoulder. So,
But it didn't stop you.
nah, it's never gonna stop. Basically, like I said, it's basically my gym, so it's kind of cool. And basically, all my really good old friends have all been friends I know from skateboarding. So it's a very big identity sort of thing.
And have you ever tried those huge skateboards, the ones that look more like a surfboard?
Oh, you're talking to a proper skater here. We don't like those things, but
Oh,
each to their own. I don't want to be like some downer here, but if we're gonna get all specific, that's not really our sort of deal. We sort of turn our nose at those people, even though we should be full of peace, abundance, and liberty. But sometimes it has its limit.
true.
Yeah, I dabbled in it when I was younger. I did a lot more of the aggressive blading back in the day, and so then I did skateboarding for a while too. And I actually built like a little half pipe in my backyard. My dad helped me build it, so I had this weird like single lane half pipe in my backyard in high school. That was kind of fun.
That's awesome because I mean some of the people that I've met through here, like that's been most of their stories. They either say like they sort of voyeuristically are like super stoked on seeing me doing it, but most people are like, yeah, I tried it. It was really hard. And that's about it. So I'm happy to sort of voyeuristically throw myself on the line.
We always tried to do it, my group of friends in high school, but we had no skate park in my area. So we had to build things ourselves, and we were okay, but we weren't we couldn't do anything crazy. And then it wasn't until after I had graduated high school and got older that they finally did build like a little skate park in the town. And so we kind of struggled with that because there was just really nowhere to skate, so we were always the kids that were skating everywhere and getting chased away.
I tried it.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say, it's definitely for probably, people of our sort of demographic. The skate parks have just popped up all over the place. I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm actually not I wasn't born in London. I was actually born and raised in South Africa. So I was there for 21 years. And in South Africa, it was very much, very, very underdog. So the only people that skated were like your best buddies, and we got kicked out by the cops and all that kind of stuff. And, we didn't have any skate park, but now there's a massive skate park because I left. So same story.
Some people are commenting in the audience chat room about they can snowboard, and then other people are saying they sit down to skateboard. Let's see here. Yeah, it's getting some interesting comments. And again, yeah, I can snowboard also because I live somewhere where we get a lot of snow, and that was a natural transition actually from knowing how to skateboard to learning to snowboard. It was very similar, a lot of similar body movements and things like that. Have you ever tried snowboarding?
I have actually. I went to France a couple years ago. They sort of do this deal where you do like 6 days of snowboarding, and unashamedly, I went into the beginners class and passed with flying colors. I was yeah, I basically tore that class apart, and everyone everyone was, well, they weren't really bummed, but they were just like, wow. And I was just like, well, skateboarding, so I've kind of got it already. So
Yeah.
yeah, snowboarding was super fun though, especially going off piste and trying to like ramp off like hills and whatever. That was really awesome.
It's definitely a lot of similar things. It's just you're flying down a hill on a bunch of snow and ice, or the alternative is flying down pavement and things on a skateboard. So I mean, equal dangers, of course. Wear a helmet, kids. Uh, but yeah, no, it's a lot of fun and skateboarding. It's something I would. I don't know. I'm older now. I'm in my early 30s, but I mean, I probably would still try it. Just to ride around on one.
Well, I'm in my late 30s, but maybe my experience is pushing me through. The funny thing is, actually, this is quite an interesting thing, and very succinct of a big city, but once a month in London at the skate park I sometimes go to, they have old man's night. So it's an over 30 old man's night, and for you pay £8 to get in, and you get a burger and a beer, and it's just a bunch of us old dudes pushing around, and it was quite funny because one of the first times I went there, I was comparing stretches with one of the other guys. So, it's a lot of fun, but we all getting old.
Hey, as long as you're still having fun, if you can keep doing it, I say keep doing it. I think it's awesome.
Thank you very much.
So some people were asking you to play a song live on the air, but I won't make you do that. But maybe another time when you're a little more prepared, you can come on and just do a little quick thing for us on an instrument, because that's pretty cool that you're able to do all that stuff. Steemit musicians are something we should all definitely be thankful for, and of course everybody. But music is wonderful, and to hear people play it live is really 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 neat.
Yeah, I would love to do that, but yeah, it's London. It's coming up to 11 p.m. and I share a flat with a bunch of people, so there's a bunch of reasons not to do it. So
Not a
but I
problem.
was gonna say I haven't booked anything yet, but if anyone's in New York or Ashbury Park, I'm actually trying to get down there in February because it's off peak, and because I used to tour when I was in a band, I got a bunch of buddies, so I might actually be playing in New York and Ashbury Park in February, but I'll keep everyone posted.
So is that something that's interesting? So you're gonna be outside, you said, or somewhere, and you said it was at a park.
Oh, Ashbury Park
Oh, okay.
in New Jersey.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
Nice. So
yeah,
we'll watch for that. You'll have to promote that on Steemit a little bit.
yeah. Because basically, with the whole Steamer thing, my new concept is because I got like a bunch of friends in different countries. My new thing is just to sort of turn up and have one rehearsal and try play a gig. So that's been my new sort of thing outside of Steemit in terms of actually playing music. So some sort of new creative concept.
So you do your music, you do skateboarding. Are there any other things you like to write about on Steemit, or anything you plan to write about?
I do stick my toe into statistics and have a really boring post I put up every week based on the English football brackets soccer data. So I just drop that in every now and then, but it's very, it's a very good cure for insomnia because it's completely boring. But uh, it's fun for me because I did a part-time degree in economics, so that's why I do that. So
Well, hey, there's probably somebody out there listening that is interested in that, so don't downplay it. You never know. We have all types
well,
here on Steemit.
yeah, I joined there's like a new there's another chat channel to do with sort of Steam business analytical stuff, and I met some Australian dudes, so we're gonna crunch some data on Australian soccer and stuff. So yeah, that's on its way as well.
Nice. Let's check in with the audience here. It is about the top of the hour here. You are listening to the Main Event Interviews show on MSP Waves Radio. My name is Main Event, joined tonight by Poetic Snake. Go ahead and say hello, Snecky, if you're right there handy.
Hello, Snacky.
We do this show every Wednesday here from 6 to 8 Eastern Time, 10 to midnight Universal Time. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. It is officially 2,300 hours here right now. So I actually
Midnight here.
So it's midnight where you are in the Netherlands. Let's see. I can see some different times here. It looks like it's midnight in Paris. You said it's 11 there in London, right?
Yep.
It should be about 7 in New York and 4 in Los Angeles. So, going around the world here. Let's check in with the audience. Who's all listening out there right now? I see a lot of names in the listening room, but that's not the only place where you can listen. There are other sources, so let's check in and see who's all listening. Why don't you guys post your countries of listenership here so we can see where around the world you're all from tonight.
I see 2 Dutch people.
Nice. Do this little disclaimer here, of course. MSP Waves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by me or the guests on the show. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station, and the material on this show is provided for educational and informational purposes only.
You are really getting good at that.
Okay, so we've got some, you said there's some people from the Netherlands. We've got some USA flags flying there. It says Slovenia. World Finances. Saipan, what flag is that? Trying to hover over it, but it's not telling me.
I think it's an island.
He's posting different ones, so I can't tell what it is.
Oh.
Pensif is here from Wales. Thank you for listening. Let's see here. Anybody else checking in from different countries? Stacy says she's from Guam. Very cool.
Where is that?
You'll have to Google it.
Guam is, I think it's near like North Korea and that. I think it's like one of the Polynesian islands. It was one of the ones that North Korea, I think they threatened to blow it up a couple months ago.
Oh.
I think
it's a U.S. territory, right? I believe.
Yeah. Well, there's U.S. Actually, that might have been U.S. Samoa, but it's around there, I think.
Yeah.
Saipan says it's Micronesian.
Yeah.
Oh, territory. Yes. U.S. territory. Definitely not a state. No. Cool. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate that. It's 2 minutes past the hour roughly here. Let me make sure I got like multiple clocks going here. 3 minutes past the hour. I apologize. This is the Main Event Interview Show. I am going to probably maybe change the name of that. I don't know. Because we do interviews on this show still. Like I said, when I first started, it was all pre-recorded interviews, and that's what we did. But now we kind of do this live every week, and it's more of a just kind of like a Steemit-based discussion, really. We just get to know fellow Steemians here on the show. So maybe if you guys come up with some ideas for a new show name, I don't know. We'll think of that. But right now it's the Main Event Interview Show, and we've got Poetic Snake here, of course, hanging out, and of course Stick Champion as well. I've shared his profile in the chat a few times. You can check that out. And let's see, any shout outs to any other Steemians out there that you want to give? Any Steemit users that you kind of interact with often, or maybe helped you when you first got going, or anything like that? Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
I don't know, the main one off the top of my head is just Bucky for being an awesome dude. Carl Nash has been awesome. Crimson has been really, really nice. Just mainly just going, Mama Crimson, what is SBD? What is my wallet? What is this? What is that? And she always answers me. So it's nice of her. Been talking to, how do you say her name? Like Christy YDDDD.
Christy D, as well. I would say that.
Yeah. She's been cool, but kind of like what Single was saying, I've already dug the hole, but I don't want to miss anyone out. There's been a lot of cool people, Every day is a school day.
I just like to give everybody that opportunity, to kind of give some shout outs here. What do you think of the changes to the platform these last few days and the new layout and everything? What's your opinion on that?
I think change is good. I actually posted in the chats. I said, people who don't like change are just sort of stagnant turds. So, you know, you just got to go with it. I mean, I don't know what people expect. This is this is why we're on the internet and not still sending telegrams. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, change is good, and it's not going to stay this way forever either. I mean, I'm sure it will change again. So, just try to grow with it and appreciate it. And, we all seem to appreciate Steemit for the most part. I mean, of course, some people don't like it or they've left or whatnot. But those of us who are still here, we obviously appreciate the community aspect of it. We appreciate the content. So as long as that doesn't change, I think we'll all stick with it here for the most part. I mean, of course, some people will go, some won't. It's all your own personal opinion. But do you think you're going to stick around for a while? You seem to be enjoying it.
Oh, definitely. Like, it's I just mainly like the sort of ethos behind it. Everyone's very supportive, and when you start off, there are a couple sharks out there, but I think definitely through the PAL network, that's when it all sort of amalgamized and sort of came together, and that's when you start to sort of sort the wheat from the chaff, as it were. Because you can actually engage with the people, and I always like listening to your show because there's something personal about hearing someone's voice. You have a connection, and then you look at their posts, and then you have another connection. So this is all definitely helping, and it's all cyclical and working out really nicely. So I'm not going anywhere. I mean, we were talking about the Steam price today, but whatever. It happens.
Yeah, I totally agree. Hearing everybody's voice is really fun, and it definitely helps you get to know them a little better. Kind of, it adds another layer, because you might follow somebody or look at their posts or read their content, but then when you start hearing their voice and learning a little more about them, you can kind of get more of a feeling for the content. And like you as a musician and everything, I find that really cool to kind of get to know you a little more, because then if we hear your music, we can just kind of relate to it a little more, I feel like.
Well, thank you very much. You've boosted my ego for the evening.
It's what we're here for. No, just kidding. Again, everybody, really appreciate all of you listening out there. This show is a lot of fun for me to do. I've been doing it now, I don't even know how many weeks. But I really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you all to do this show and to give a little platform for people to come on and kind of talk about, their experience with Steemit and what they blog about and things like that. So I want to say thank you to everybody out there who's listening. We really appreciate it. And guests like you, and Sim Girl, who was just on here earlier, people like you guys that are willing to jump on and tell your story. We really appreciate that. So thank you.
That's no problem. I was just gonna say I feel overexposed at the moment, so I feel I want to recede back into my vicarious living. So I might have to bounce and join the chat again and just
not a problem.
A bunch of text as opposed to some sounds.
Not a problem. Well, we've been visiting with Stick Champion tonight from London. Thank you so much for joining us. Snack, do you want to say your goodbyes?
Yes, I want to say bye-bye. Thank you for joining us. It was amazing to have you here.
Thank you very much to you too. Tot ziens.
Hey, tot ziens.
Take care.
He said, see you soon in Dutch.
All right, that's awesome.
Kinda. I mean, it's kinda translates to see you soon.
So, what did you think of that, Poetic Snake? That was a fun interview.
It sure was. I enjoyed myself by listening and hearing the story.
Yeah, like somebody else had mentioned in the chat, they want to go skateboarding now. I think Christy said that. I want to go skateboarding now too.
Well, I tried skateboarding once and I hit a wall. And then I tried not skiing, but you have those long things. We call it langlauf thingies. And then I hit a tree, so it's just not my thing.
Yeah, I had a few good wipeouts on the skateboard when I was younger. But it was still all fun. I mean, that's just part of it. It's just how it goes.
True, true. Makes you tough.
Let's check in with the audience here. Let's see who's here. I'll scroll back up a little bit. Let's see. Rondon, I see your name. Simgirl, Christy, World Finances. I see Jack is there. I don't know how to completely say that name, so I don't want to say it wrong. But Jack's out there. And
Jack Johannes Hemp.
yes, all right, you got it. I see Eternarex out there. Welcome. And let's see. 432 Hertz Creations. Welcome. Appreciate you all being here with us tonight. And again, I see Stacy out there. Sipen's back. Really appreciate it.
X-Violin.
Yeah. Shaolin, that's how I guess we would pronounce that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
We appreciate you all being here. It's just about 10 minutes after. We've got time here. So I had another guest that was going to come on the show tonight, but they just messaged me a few minutes ago and said that they unfortunately have to cancel. They've had something come up and they're not able to join us. So we do have a little bit of open time here. So let's just kind of talk about what we think of what's going on with Steemit. And if anybody is out there and you want to join, if you want to get on the air with us, just send me a direct message right here on Discord, and I'll send you the link to the chat room. You just need to be able to do voice chat capability here. So if you'd like to jump on the air with us, just send me a message. It doesn't matter if you've already been on the show before. We'll open it up to everybody because, I mean, there's a lot going on with Steemit right now. We've, of course, got Steam Fest. We talked about that a little bit at the very beginning of the show. And of course, people are posting from Steam Fest, so that's pretty amazing to see all the things happening there once they all start. Definitely, I'm going to want to check out. I know there's some live feeds, I believe, going on, so it'd be interesting to see the live feed from Steam Fest.
Yeah, I watched the live stream last year, and it was very amazing to see. Made you feel that you were there, with them.
So let's see here. Let's just kind of do like a poll question here in the audience while we're waiting to see if anybody else wants to jump on with us. Because, I mean, I can certainly sit here and keep talking. No big deal.
No deal. No big deal.
Let's put ones in the chat if you really like the new layout, and 2 if you don't like it. And that includes the color schemes and all of it. The resized pictures. Again, if people are tuning in and they haven't found all these little things yet, remember that you can click the profile picture menu, and under your wallet, you can toggle night mode now. So you can actually change the colors of the Steemit page itself and make it look different. And then on the home page, right next to where it says people I follow, you can click that little box, and it will change the way the feed looks on your home feed. Not your blog, but the actual content feed for the homepage. You can change it to make it have much bigger images, and that looks really, really awesome to me.
I see
People are posting 3s. Maybe
Yeah,
they're
I
just
saw
they're
that.
just confused. But people are probably still undecided. I mean, it's still new. I like it so far. Some people weren't a big fan of like the colors and things like that. But I mean, colors can come and go. I mean, that probably isn't going to be permanent, I wouldn't think. Maybe, unless that's the official color of Steemit now, is that teal green. But I do like the night mode. I
like to read it.
Yeah, it's much easier on the eyes.
Yes, but I do love the green.
Well, you're a snack. Of course you're going to love that.
Yeah, everybody needs to love the green.
So we'll see. I mean, Eternarex says, the new design needs tweaking, but it's getting there. That's a good way to say it. I agree. It's one step in the right direction. All these little changes. I mean, when I first started Steemit, it was in May. And going back to just even in May, so many things have changed since then. I mean, first we got the profile picture background, right? The what would you cover that? The cover art. We got
Yeah.
that. And then they've just made this new layout change where they changed the way the page is actually structured. And then, of course, just in the last couple of days, we just got the night thing, the night mode. Is that what it's called? I keep getting confused here. Yes, night mode. And, of course, the new logo.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to talk about the logo because in the past we could use the Steemit logo just in any post, but this logo you can't.
Yeah, I did see a post that does say that new Steemit logo is it's got copyright protection now. So
Yeah.
the old Steemit logo is the Steam logo. It seems like now, if I understand that correctly, and don't quote me on that. I'm not an expert. But it seems like the old logo that everybody's used to with the three little waves, that is the Steam logo now. And I
Yes.
believe that still has a Creative Commons association with that, so people can still use it. But yeah,
Yes.
that new logo does say it's protected, so everybody should be careful on that. I'm not 100% on that. World Finances is saying the old Steemit logo got protection also.
Yes, but they also said that you can still use it for free for promotion and stuff.
Right. So, I mean, of course, do your own research on that, folks. Never take anybody else's content that isn't yours, without your permission. That's the bottom line.
Yes.
So, but I have, people are, of course, commenting and writing about this new logo. So, just be careful out there. But, it's a new change. It's differentiating the two entities, right? Because, I mean, you have Steemit, it's a page, it's a thing, and then you have Steam, which is its own thing. So
Yes.
there is differentiate, that's different. The two things are different. So it's good to have, probably it's good to have different logos.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and like Rondon said, it's always been the Steam logo. It's just that Steemit used it as well. But, and of course he says he could be wrong on that, though. Yeah, I'm assuming that's probably the case. That the three little waves has been basically the generic Steam thing for everything. Anything Steemit related was always seemed like it had that for the picture. So this new thing, we were kind of contemplating what is it. I guess it looks like it's supposed to be two little chat bubbles, I guess, interacting. So we'll see.
Or a bird. I don't know.
Maybe. It's open for debate. We'll ask the audience. What do you guys think the new logo is? What is it?
A twisted penguin? I don't know.
We'll see what everybody thinks. Maybe it means we're going to get some kind of a chat app or something, Lexiconical says he sees an S with a comment symbol. A Turner X says it looks like kind of like a yin yang. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Stacy's got chat bubbles, cartoon chat text bubbles. Jack says. Sipin says it looks like two commas doing naughty things. Naughty.
Making little Steemits.
Yeah, let's see here. World Finances, it looks like two chat clouds.
You should read Rondon's.
Where's his? I didn't see it. It's scrolling by. Everybody's commenting here. Oh, jeez. Come on, Rondon. Keep this a family show here. It looks like he says hamsters, but, it could be your guinea pigs there, Snick.
Yeah, he's rather quiet, don't you think?
Yes. So, yeah, no, it's new logo. We'll have to see what exactly it is. Because, yeah, I guess it's little chat bubbles or something is kind of what it looks like. But it's there. I'm sure. I can only imagine it's still going to evolve from here. I mean, it does still say beta. So we're still in beta. It could change tomorrow. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Time will tell, as always. It's okay, Rondon. I'm just teasing. Well, we've got a little over a half hour left. Let's do one last call out here to the audience to see if anybody's feeling brave and they want to come jump on the show here with us. Like I
Yeah,
said,
don't be
it's
shy.
okay if you've already been on the show. I apologize. I don't want to sound like I'm begging for people to get on the show here. We did have another guest lined up, but unfortunately they canceled on us for now. So if anybody would like to, just send me a DM. This is Main Event speaking. Just send me a message right on Discord. And if you want to jump on here with us, feel free. We'd love to have you. Now people are getting nominated here in the audience.
Yeah, I'm reading.
And if you can't tonight, that's fine. Feel free to send me a message and you can be on next time. You can hear previous episodes of the show right on my Main Event profile right on Steemit. I've interviewed all kinds of people now. I don't know the exact number, but it's at least a dozen or more different Steemians from all over the world. We've had people on even just tonight. We had somebody on from London. We had somebody on from the U.S. Snack Year over in the Netherlands. So, we branch out and we go all over the world with this show. And again, I just want to thank you all for the opportunity and for listening. It's great to have you here.
It's amazing.
All right, everybody's being scared. Stacy says she'll try to jump on next time. She's asking
Should I
if
start making chicken noises?
No, don't do that. Oh, that was good. Stacy's asking if there's a schedule for this show. This show, my show, our show, I should say. This is on from 6 to 8 Eastern Time, or it's 10 to midnight Universal Time. So right now it's 7:21 here Eastern Time. Should be about 11:21 Universal Time, and it's every Wednesday. So that's when this show airs. You can find a full schedule of all the radio shows on mspwaves.com. You can also follow them on Steemit at msp-waves. So if you haven't done so yet, you can do that and see all the different posts from all the radio DJs and learn more about the different shows. Of course, if you're interested in being on, getting a show yourself, you can find out information on that as well. Snack, what do you have planned? You said you've been posting a lot lately, and you're almost considering taking a little break, huh?
Yeah, I'm considering taking a week off or something, but I'm focusing on tutorials again, mostly painting.
Well, that's really neat. I've been kind of like, I don't know, I've had like writer's block or something lately. I haven't been taking any pictures, and so because I've just been really busy and the weather's been kind of blah lately, so I don't have any really new photos to share or anything. So I've been trying to think of some new content ideas, and so I got a few things in the works here, so I should be posting a bit more here coming up.
That would be amazing.
Rondon, I see you.
Is he lurking?
I think so. I had mentioned to him about coming on the show. I'm not sure if he wants to. Rondon, I see you.
Don't be shy, Rhonda.
I see that clown foot sticking out from behind the curtain.
I see his red hair.
We'll see when he comes out of hiding here. But yeah, no, I'm going to certainly be trying to do more curation coming up is one thing I have planned personally for my Steemit blog, and I want to do more minnow curation, new members, that type of thing. People with low reputations, not due to flagging, but just people who are relatively new to the platform. Try to give them some advice to keep them motivated to stay on the platform, because that's really what we need. And to keep it growing, we're gonna have to. I see so many people who are just getting frustrated and things that their content isn't being seen, and there's got to be something that more or less all of us could do to try to change that a little bit.
Well, the first thing you need to do to change that is to see the people.
Absolutely.
Take the time and see them.
Yeah, no, and it's good to seek out content from new people once in a while too. Whether you're an actual active curator in a group or whether you just do it on your own. Definitely take at least maybe one vote a day is what I recommend, and make sure you find somebody that's relatively new. Give them a vote, give them a comment. You don't have to do this. This is just what I do. Don't listen to me if you don't want to, but it's just my opinion. But it's
I
good
never listen to you.
it's good to support the newer users because
Yeah, I agree.
that's going to be the foundation, I feel like. And we are, of course, active members of the Minnow Support Project. So it's great to welcome people into that group as well and to just try to help them out because a lot of people don't understand that, unless you network on Steemit and get some followers and things of that nature, it's going to be a challenge to get your posts seen. I mean, some people are amazing bloggers and they don't have an issue because they know how to format their post, they understand the tags, they understand all these things. But, if you're new to blogging and new to Steemit, it's a big ocean out there, the Steemit Ocean, and it's a challenge for sure.
It really is, yes. I've drowned a few times at my beginnings.
So that's something I'm going to try to come up with is, just a way to feature some newer content creators more often somehow. I haven't quite come up with that yet. I do curate with the OCD group and with MuxieBot's curator group, so I would like to somehow incorporate some of that with it maybe, but overall, I want to try to be curating on some more newer people, so we're going to try to do something coming up with that.
I think that's wonderful.
Let's see here. I know a few people have to head out and things of that nature. Really appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you so much. Rondon, are you there, sir?
I am.
How you doing, bud?
Doing well. How am I sounding?
You sound good to me. Does he sound good to you, Snack?
Nah, yeah, he sounds good.
So how's things going, Rondon? Any updates of the radio station you want to give to the listeners out there?
Well, we've been doing a lot of stuff in the back behind the scenes, and I don't know what I can really give away and what I can't, though.
Okay, no big deal. I just thought I didn't
I
know
guess
if you had
I guess I
anything.
can't say we do have an app in development now,
Oh, that's
so
big
hopefully
news.
people can tune into the radio station through our very own MSP Waves app very soon.
All right, well, that's big news. That'll be wonderful. So, of course, from its humble beginnings to now, there's been a lot of challenges, and you've put in countless hours. I can't even imagine the amount of time that you have put into this radio station. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of everybody, because I know, you deserve that Medal of Honor, man, because you certainly have done a ton of work, and, I just want to say thank you for everybody, because I know they all appreciate it.
Well, it's been an honor, really, being a part of a project such as this and being able to do what I can to make it work is it's really motivating,
Yeah, and everybody's, bringing their unique talents to it. It takes it's taken a small army to make this happen, and it's no easy task to do an online radio station. There's a lot of work behind the scenes, a lot of technical details, a lot of just everything, and you and Global Cop and UniWisp and just everybody who's involved with the radio station. I don't even want to mention names because I'll forget somebody, but everybody
Yeah.
who's involved with it has done an amazing job, and through all any challenges that have come up or whatnot, it's been a great experience for everybody so far, I believe.
Yeah, it's taken an army, and like you said, UniWisp has been a huge part. You've been a big part too. Don't be so humble yourself there, Maine. And we've had people like Crimson in there. She hasn't been a very leading part of MSP Waves, but man, she's been in the background doing a lot of stuff, doing a lot of interesting, like trying to get a bot to announce the shows for us. And we have Jesse to you, which I haven't seen him tonight, but he's usually here almost at every show, and he's out there.
He had to dip out, and actually Crimson was doing that for him tonight. So thank you, Crimson. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, and yeah, he's out there. He's out there advertising the shows and letting people know who's coming on, and getting everybody, at least giving everybody a chance to come out and listen to the who's up.
Yeah, because it definitely takes that. I mean, this is still a new thing, this whole radio project and all the shows and everything. And there's so many. I mean, we've got, I don't even know the exact number of people in Minnow support right now, but it's something like over 4,000 people, right? And so it's hard to get the word out to all of them because I mean, there's a lot of people. You just got to keep sharing
Well,
it.
it looks like we're back up over 5,020 members right now.
Nice. That's great. So yeah, Minnow Support Project back over 5K, pushing towards 6K by the end of the year, right? That's the goal.
And that's people who have logged in the past 30 days. So like we clear out all the dead accounts all the time, and we were over 5,000 before, but we never had cleared anything out, so it kind of knocked off a huge chunk. But yeah, that's with everybody being active in the past month.
Well,
so
great.
that's really a huge number.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be curious to know, what percent that is of the actual Steemit user base that's active. You know what I mean? The number base, because I know it's sure probably a small percentage, but it's still a lot, for all one group to be in there, So I know it's been a lot of fun just to be a part of Minnow Support Project, because there's so many wonderful people here, and it's spawned so many other projects like the radio station. So it's really great. Rondon, do you ever have time to do your own posts or anything like that, or are you pretty busy with the radio stuff all the time?
Well, if you take a look at my blog, which I wouldn't recommend because there's nothing there, I haven't really posted very much, and it's a temporary thing. I'm not too concerned about it. But yeah, I really don't have time to post. Today I was dissecting and figuring out WordPress, and I'm not a WordPress guy. I don't know anything about WordPress, and the plugins don't make sense to me. They don't work like they're supposed to, and even the help to try to fix the plugins don't work. So, anyway,
well, we appreciate
there's
it,
just
man.
a lot of stuff that needs to be done, and once it gets done, then I'll have all the time in the world to do posts. But until then, we have some stuff hanging over our head. We have Twitch that's really not. We aren't really a good fit for Twitch. Our content isn't. It's in the gray area of Twitch's terms of service, and they seem to be allowing us to go for now. But I'm not going to rely on them anymore. So we have to get off of them, and I have that all figured out. But we have some testing to do. We have some testing to do before we can implement that. I try. I'm not really. We're not Steemit Inc. here, so we don't do the testing on the live server. So
I had a feeling that might have been what was kind of going on, because it kept going up and down, up and down. It's like, well, what are they doing? And then sure enough, there's a bunch of changes. It's like, yep, they definitely were probably testing something behind the scenes, but that's just opinion, of course. I don't know that for sure. What do you think of the new look, Rhonda?
I think I fall in line here with I have some mixed feelings about it. The green color is horrendous. I mean, it's even worse than the green color. Like, I kind of like that green color that refrigerators used to be back in the 70s. Minnow says Rondon is aggroed with the voice plugin. I don't know. That's going to be a kind of a hard case to prove, you know. But yeah, I have a really bad problem with mainly with the green color. The logo isn't very intuitive. I don't know what it's supposed to represent. The the drop shadow box or whatever, that offset box on the posting, and like the different I don't know. Yeah, seafoam green is what I've heard it called, but yeah, I'm not too impressed. There is some improvements. There's been in some of the ways it's a little bit more pleasing to the eye than the old way, but I don't know. I'm undecided really, I guess. I'm a fence sitter.
Yeah, and it's like I was saying too. I don't think it will stay that way forever. I'm sure this will be a temporary thing, and they'll just probably change it every once in a while with the seasons or something. Who knows? you know, the logo that'll probably stick around for a while, and maybe they'll do some sort of an explanation as to what it is exactly. It's like we kind of opened it up for debate there, and the general consensus is it's some sort of a chat bubble or something, right? Is that kind of what you would assume?
I have no idea. It looks like a yin yang almost.
Yeah, that's what Eternorex called it too. That is an interesting way to look at it.
I thought he said yik yak.
Oh, he might have said that too. I don't know. But
I don't really know what yik yak is. I'm not familiar with that.
I was wondering the same.
yeah, the color is open for debate. Yeah, I'm not sure
No,
why
no.
I don't know why they chose that color.
Because it's cool.
Snack likes it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, you always got the classic Steam logo if you really hate it that much. I mean, you can just use that. If you want to show somebody Steemit, you just show them the Steam logo or something. I don't know. But it's going to be differentiated as two different things now. I mean, it always was, but now you really have two different logos and it's showing the two different things. So it might help explain it a little better to people. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I don't know. I think the color has been the number one complaint I've heard. And I'm kind of wondering if it was just down to the color, what people think and thought of. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a reason. There's a reason for everything, but I'm not sure what that one is. Let's check in with the audience here and see who's here with us. We got about a little over 20 minutes left here of the show. Rondon, don't feel pressured to stay the whole time. You don't have to. But we'll check in here with the audience. I see Simgirl still here with us. Crimson Clad said she's unable to listen. I'm not sure if she means like she's just busy or she actually can't make it work. I'm not sure. Excuse me. Eternorex out there. World Finances, I see. I see Sevo. Or Savo, right? That's how you said it?
Yes. And Bucky Durdle just joined us as well.
Welcome, Bucky. Bucky,
oh, did you get to catch Bucky's show last night?
Yeah.
Boy, wasn't that a hoot.
It was amazing.
He was really filling his boots last night. I think I said that right. That's Canadian speak for giving it to her.
An ode in a boot.
Yes, I've heard nothing but good things. I'm definitely going to have to listen next time for sure. And again, everybody, if you want to find out more, you still pointing everybody to the mspwaves.com, Rondon?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, because that's where you're going to find the schedule, which, we got new DJs coming on all the time. So you got to keep going there and checking it out, making sure you know what time your favorite show is going to be on. It's also where we have, the video player. Some of the DJs actually do broadcast more than just the chat. So it's kind of important to be able to find that. And also for shows like yours, Maine, where it's just talk, the MSP Waves radio listening Discord voice channel is you know, perfectly fine to sit and listen to. But when you start having music, it's really you know, it's only 96 kilobytes per second, which means it's low quality, and you're not going to really hear the music at a good quality like you would on the website. So, you know, if you have the bandwidth and the computer power, you know, you go for the website, and if not, you know, you can always listen here on the Peace, Abundance, and Liberty Discord channel.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Discord, of course, isn't designed for that, so but it works, you know, and it's a great alternative for everybody to be able to tune into the show. And so, of course, I see. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's at least 10 people in there listening right now, so it's definitely being utilized, and we're thankful to have it. So, yeah, a few people were asking about the website, and it's good you just shared that. Snack, thank you.
You are welcome.
Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah,
Go
the
ahead,
Discord voice, the Discord voice channel has really taken off. I didn't expect so many people to use it.
It's probably convenience, you know.
It totally is. You know, I just underestimated it, and yeah, it seems to be the overwhelming choice of listening.
And maybe, you know, there are other things coming to the Steemit blockchain eventually. You know, we won't go into it, but you know, eventually it would be a nice. I think this is just my opinion. You know, if eventually all of these things that we're using could eventually come back to Steemit or come back to a Steam-based thing, you know, whether that'll happen, I don't know. Probably not. It might just be too much, but you know, it would be nice if we could all kind of come back to Steemit eventually. But of course, the radio station is a separate thing. We'll just have to kind of see what evolves from it. You know, I think it's off to a great start so far.
Have you heard of that D Live yet?
I have heard of it, and so you know, hopefully that will be something that maybe people like us who like to do live streaming, you know, podcasts or talk shows or whatever you do. It would be interesting if eventually people could do live streaming and get voted in real time. So, like earlier in the show, we had a lot of people here for the first half hour, 40 minutes or so, but then they had to leave. You know, it would be nice if when people have to do that, if they can, you know, they could still drop their vote before they leave or whatever, you know, or something to that effect. You know, because they want to still support the show or support whatever, they can do that, and that would be really neat. But
Yeah, if we could get it all onto one site and combine everything, I think it would be the best possible experience we could produce. Absolutely, I agree with you.
yeah, and time will tell. I mean, all these things are still new. Everything's still in betas and development and all these things, and we're all just the beta testers here, right? So we're happy to be here, and you know, hopefully everything is going to grow. We're Steemits and Steam. You know, the last couple weeks haven't been so great, but hopefully it's turning the corner here. We'll have to see.
Oh, you know what? We were mentioning the website earlier, and that's another thing. It's getting completely redone from the bottom up. We're gonna redesign it from scratch. It's still gonna have all the same features, but it's gonna be way easier to read. The schedule is gonna be fixed. The site navigation is gonna be a lot more intuitive, and that's gonna be happening here within the next couple weeks, I would say.
Awesome. So we'll watch for that. Again, that's mspwaves.com. If those of you aren't in the audience chat room and didn't see us share that. And of course, there's a Steemit page too for the radio station. It's just MSP-Waves. So there's a little hyphen in there, right? That'd be the right word for that. And what has been getting shared on there? The DJs usually do posts on there, right? Or they get shared.
Not recently. The WordPress plugin for the Steemit post really doesn't work the way you would think it worked. It's not very intuitive, so we've been having a lot of having to go back and edit a post to make it the way they were intending it to.
Right, but the MSP Waves profile though is sharing most of the DJ's
Oh,
posts
the pro.
that
Okay, yeah,
like
I
the
was on the website there.
yeah
Uh,
the Steemit profile.
yeah. The Steemit profile. Yeah, they share site new. What we're doing with the radio station, and also all the DJ posts and new show announcements, and just all the news that surrounds MSP Waves.
Now, is there anything you want to mention to those listening, or those who may listen, on the recording after, of ways that they can help support the station? Or are you guys not quite at that point with that, or I just didn't know if you wanted to mention anything to that effect.
Well, one of the things we do to support this station is we do accept delegation to the MSP Waves account, and what that does is we use that to upvote all of our DJs and DJ posts to kind of these guys aren't really making a whole lot to sit here and do a 2 hour live show plus all the hours of prep work it takes to make that 2 hours happen, and so we really we're trying to get MSP Waves upvote enough to where our DJs are getting fairly compensated for doing that. And also you could just follow MSP Waves at MSP Waves on Steemit, and upvote the posts that you see there. And there's some pretty obvious ways to doing it, but as far as the delegation goes, though, we have that you can do that very easily on the MSP Delegator app that Netuoso made for us, and I'll post that link here in the chat.
Absolutely. So yeah, if you're out there listening and you enjoy the radio shows, and you're looking to show your support, you can certainly do that, and at least follow the Steemit profile. Then you'll get to see when the new show posts come up, and you'll be able to know when a show is coming on. Or sometimes a lot of the DJs will record their talk shows and things and play them after, so you can go back if you did miss a show. Let's say you can certainly hear it. And we love to do it, and it is a lot of fun, and your support and feedback is appreciated. So this show will be posted on my blog afterwards, and most likely re-steamed, of course, through MSP Waves and things of that nature. So if you're interested and you want to hear this show, if maybe you're just now listening or you didn't catch the first hour, just check out my profile. It's right on Main Event. And yeah, so lots of amazing shows here on the radio stations and wide varieties of topics, too. Certainly not one thing.
Absolutely. There's we got music shows, and we've got politics shows, we've got religious shows, we've got shows about emotions and shows about self-improvement. Yeah, we got interviews from Steemit users, we got interviews of top witnesses. There's no telling. And then we also, of course, we pay royalties in order to and buy licenses to play popular music and stuff as well. So on top of the Steemit music that a lot of our DJs are curating, we also have a lot of familiar music that we can play as well.
That's great. And who's the kind of the points of contact right now if somebody's listening out there and they're interested in doing a show? Where should they go first?
Well, you can always direct message either me or Globocop or UniWisp, and or you, Maine, to get started on getting the information you need to know what it takes to run a show and seeing if you can do it. Not everybody is up for shows, but a lot of people have found that it's a lot easier than it seems at first. And once you get going, it's really a lot of fun, and you get to meet a lot of new people and get to hear a lot of crazy stories, and it's really an experience that I would recommend.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest hurdle for people is just talking on the microphone. People don't like public speaking. It's
They're shy.
ah,
I was shy at the beginning too.
it's just something you got to work on, you know.
Yeah.
That's all. It's just one of those things, you know. You once you've done it, it's no big deal. It's just one of those things. You just have to do it, and we're all friends here, so we're all supportive. It's not like we're gonna laugh at you or
Or fight.
not intentionally anyway. We'll
No.
laugh with you. But yeah, no, I mean it's a great opportunity for somebody out there if you've got a topic that you're knowledgeable about and that you're passionate about, you know, it would be wonderful to have you on and doing a show because there's so many people who are doing shows about things that they are passionate about. And so who knows what that could be? I mean, it could be all kinds of different topics. But if you think you've got enough, you know, things that you're passionate about and the ambition and the drive to do it, and you can do that show at the same time every week, yeah, certainly look into it and be happy to have you on. Let's see who's all in the audience here still. We appreciate you guys all being here, guys and gals. We got about 10 minutes left of the show here. I see Savo out there, Sim Girl, Lexiconical, Menno, Sipens out there, Stick Champion. I know there's other people out there. Turner X is listening. Let's go through in the voice room here. I see Creations is in there. Jack is in there. Pensive. Stacy. Lots of people listening tonight. Really appreciate it. There was people from all over the world too. That's what I really love about all of this. It's just so amazing to me because I live in a small area and everything, and you know I haven't really traveled the world, so it's fascinating to talk to people from all over the world and just hear their perspectives and hear their stories, read their blogs, all these things. It's just a lot of fun.
And very interesting.
Yes.
So, Maine,
Yes.
let me turn this around on you.
Oh no.
Well, you know, with your DJ experience and stuff, were you a little nervous when you were starting a radio station here on MSP Waves?
Not on MSP Waves, but I remember the first time that I ever got on a radio station. I was on my college radio station, and I remember the guys. It was in the basement of one of the school buildings, and I was all alone down there. The guy basically gave me the rundown real quick. I had to turn the microphone on and make it work, and I just remember sitting there all by myself, and he's like, "Okay, in 30 seconds, your microphone will be live and you'll be talking." And I just remember sitting there terrified and being like, "Oh no, what am I gonna
Or
do?"
did they at least give you something to talk about, or did you just have to wing it?
I think I was doing a music show, so I mean I could play music and everything. So I at least had that ability, you know. And I think I was it was more of like a call-in request show, so people were calling in and things. So I always had something to say. But just that moment of going live on the air the very first time, you know. I had always wanted to do it growing up. Like I had always wanted to be a DJ actually since I was a kid. I always had you know, turntables and things like that my whole life, and so I was always interested in it. But when it came time to really do it for real, it was an interesting experience, I remember.
I bet. Yeah, I think that too, Sim Girl. He does have a DJ voice. He says he doesn't think that.
I don't hear it, but as long as it's pleasant on the ears, I guess that's what matters. Haven't scared everybody away yet.
Not yet.
See, I don't really think I have a you know, a radio voice. I know I don't, but you know,
But you have the
it
passion
doesn't matter.
for it. You like doing it, so.
Well, that's the thing is, I'm the kind of guy, like, I wasn't really nervous. I'm not really a nervous kind of guy. I'm a kind of guy that can get in front of a drunk crowd, completely sober, and do karaoke. I've done that multiple times, working out on the road, going out to the bar with the guys, being the designated driver. And, you know, being at a bar with a bunch of drunks, there's really not much to do except for go sing karaoke, except for I can't sing at all. I'm not a singer. So, you know, usually most people who are really bad singers get nice and drunk before they do it. But I go do it sober. I don't care. It's really not that. but the biggest problem I have is I'm not a talker. I'm more of a I sit back and I do stuff, and talking gets in the way of absorbing information and learning new things, and listening to the smartest people in the world instead of the people who are right next to me. You know what I mean? So whenever I got kind of talked into doing a show, I was really hesitant about it because, well, I got better things to do.
Yeah.
But now that I've actually done it, it's been great getting to meet meeting the people that come to my shows, the people that that have been on my show, the people we talk about. It has been a fantastic experience, and I'm really glad I took the leap.
That's awesome. Why don't you tell everybody when your radio show airs on the MSP Waves?
It's sometime on Monday. I can't remember. I'm always changing it. It's 11 to 2 UTC, which is 7 to 10 Eastern. And I guess that's all the conversions I'm going to do.
So, will the time change affect all of that? So, like on Sunday, I believe the clocks get changed here, right? Is it this week?
Yeah, it will change on UTC.
Okay.
That's right. So next week it will be 12 to 3 UTC, but it's still going to be 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time, 6 to 9 Central Standard Time, so on and so forth.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll definitely, everybody who's listening, be aware of that next week, because how many places don't do the time change? Is it more places that do it or don't do it around the world, or is it just a U.S.
You
thing?
said do.
Do, yeah.
You do. How many places actually do that? Is it a lot, or is it just the U.S.? I'm kind of not sure on that.
Yeah, I'm not either. I have no idea. What about you, Snick?
Our time changed last weekend.
Okay, so did it go back an hour?
Yes, the
Okay.
same thingy as you do.
Okay. Yeah, so
Welcome
I
is
guess
back,
we'll
yeah.
have to just figure that out with the schedule and redo that. So everybody kind of keep that in mind next week for the radio shows, that the time is going to change for a lot of people. So you'll definitely, this is a good chance for you all to follow the MSP Waves profile on Steemit and to check out mspwaves.com next week. And we'll have to make sure the schedule gets updated, Rondon. We'll have to work on that. See if I can help you out with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think UniWisp is actually all over it.
Yeah, that's good. Perfect.
So yeah, it will be all updated on the site. So that site will be a reliable source of information to find out what the shows are. But you'll have to go there because there is going to be a lot of changes, and some people's time zones are going to be changing, some people's aren't, and UTC doesn't change. So we'll just have to figure out.
Yeah,
what
we'll
we're
just
gonna
have
have
to stick with the universal time thing. But so okay, so my show had been 10 to midnight UTC, but if I still do my show at the same time for me, it won't be that time though.
No, next week it'll be an hour later,
Hmm.
according to Eastern Standard Time.
That's interesting. I'll have to decide, because I probably could do it at the same time, universal time. It would just bump it it would change it. So yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Yeah, but most likely probably be about the same time next week, everybody, as far as Eastern time goes, but it'll probably change for universal time, but we'll check into that. Any last words, Rondon, for the audience, or anything you want to plug before we jump off here?
Not anything additional than what I've already talked about, I guess.
All right.
I guess I could talk about free speech, but that's kind of laying low a little bit until I get a couple of apps developed for that. So we're gonna do a big push here pretty soon with free speech. But for now, that account that upvotes opinion flags, that people who get flagged for difference of opinion and not because of plagiarism or spam, That account has got some big plans here in the future, but just keep an eye out for that.
Awesome. All right, everybody. We're visiting with Rondon, and definitely look him up if you're interested in the radio station. You can message me as well, Global Cop or UniWisp. Thanks for jumping on the show with us, Ron.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been great.
Anytime, bud. We'll let you go here, and I'll message you on the handoff here in just a moment. We'll say our goodbyes, and we'll wind things down here.
I can actually, since I'm on your show right now, I can actually do that live just by listening to you. So when you say your goodbyes, just don't make sure you don't say goodbye and then go, oh, well, wait, and then do something else, because then I'll hang up on you early.
Okay.
But
Sounds good. Snecky, are you still here with me?
Yes, sir. Still present.
What did you think of the show tonight?
I loved it.
So we had multiple guests on the show tonight. We had Sim Girl on the show. Let's see, where's my list here? Let's see. Sorry. Steck Chumpion was on the show here with us. Rondon was on the show. Did I miss anybody?
No.
All right. So thank you all so much for being on the show. And if you're listening and you would like to be on the show next week, just send me a direct message right through Discord, and we can make that happen. We'd be happy to have you on the show. Just need voice chat capabilities. If you missed any of the show, I am going to post this on my main event Steemit profile here tonight, so you can check that out. If you want to, support the show, feel free to re-steam that or whatnot, and totally up to you, of course, all voluntary. Appreciate the support, though. Sneck, you shared your profile in the chat, right? Did you do that?
Nope, not yet.
Go right ahead. Again, that's Poetic Snake here joining me on the show tonight. My name's Main Event. We'll do this one last time. MSP Waves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station, and the materials on the shows is provided for educational and informational purposes only. Again, you can find more about the station at mspwaves.com, MSP-Waves on Steemit. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight, and have a great night, everybody. See ya.